I say too, the black people had their own little trust fund set up, by the way. Um, what you don't realize is that through the depression and basically whatever and whatever, like I said, there's plenty of food actually through the depression. What was actually happening is the black people were actually trying to starve out the white people, and what a lot of people what a lot of black singers were saying is things like I keep sending you money, I keep giving money into the account, but we're not seeing any benefit from it because the black people, they had their own trust funds. You can't trust a white bank. You can only trust the black bank, the black people. The black people didn't have any banks. They were, and the truth was the black people, the whole race of black people, like 3 or 4 or 5 million black people, all the money was going to like 5 or 10 or 15 or 100 or 200 black people, and they were just letting every other black person starve. They were all sending money into it, and basically 50 black people were basically, or 100 black people were basically just buying stuff and being rich and living the high life. Anyway, the Irish tried to tell the black people that you can't trust your leaders, dude. They're not helping you. They're just buying guns, killing people, and basically you living the life. So you know, so I mean, and meanwhile, all these black leaders are like, you can't trust a black king. I mean, a white king. You can't trust a white bank. Because they just wanted you to give your money to them. So all these black people were giving money to these black leaders, and they weren't doing shit with it. Buying guns and houses and just living the life. The 1,000 or 500 black people were just living the epic life, while the rest of the black people suffered. And one black guy would just buy an aircraft so he can be a plague onto this world. So you were just helping Papa carpet bomb cities and stuff and being a plague onto this world. He didn't care. He was 80 or 70. So that's why the black people were suffering so much. And they're trying to make the white people suffer too, because he was trying to be a plague onto this world. So basically, like, and he was supporting JFK and all this other stuff, and basically, so that's what was going on. So meanwhile, there's me and my Belfastians and my me, Lucifer White Star, and so that's why it's like White Star, and I'm like, just like, and because that's why it was like, and then of course there's China, which of course they're like, and China's like, they learn so fast. Going off to do empire on their own now. I remember when they were just a wee little ones and we were having to protect them, and they grew up so fast. Anyway, so I'm like, because there was a time when they were just little clones, and they were just, the Japanese were just brand new and stuff, and they were just little children, and I had my Germany, and I was protecting the little Asian children, and I was like, no, they grow up so fast. I love you. I said I love China. You guys, Asians, I love Asians, I do. So you guys grow up so fast, and then they're like, anyway, like I said, I'm epic Lucifer Star, so all my life forms are like, hmm. I'm 100 trillion years old. So I've seen all these life forms, all these different groups, come into existence, and so anyway, yeah. So anyway, and then of course there's the black people, which are plague on this world. It's like, Okay, plague onto this world. I don't know what to do with this guy. Here, black people, you want him back? He's a plague onto this world. His name's Papa. You want him back? He was trying to say, they locked me up because I'm black. It's like, no, they locked you up because you're slapping women and being a psycho freak trying to carpet bomb cities. And you're kicked out of Warsaw and like 5 other cities. Just ask the Irish about the Black Plague onto this world and what they did in Birmingham and in Ireland. They were just destroying everything and graffitiing and wrecking everything. You know, like I say, a lot of these buildings are older than you. You know, these buildings, some of these buildings are thousands of years old. And then come along one Papa or one Bloods or Crips and a plague. It's like, you know, we've been here for like billions of years. Trillions of years. Like the great Chinese Empire. 1,000-year empire. Or 3,000-year empire. Basically. The epic China existence or Asian existence. I mean, and there's epic British Empire, which is a British Empire, basically, which was like 1,000-year empire. You know, I mean, there's all these great big huge empires lasting thousands of years. So, I mean, even the Gypsy Empire, tinsmiths and belly dancing and, you know, like 300 or 400-year empire. It was beautiful. Like I said, to the Gypsies and the what's it called, and the tinsmiths. I mean, you guys were amazing. I mean, yes. I mean, I barely remember any of it because it was only 300 years or 400 years, but I remember some of it. You guys were amazing. So, you know, it's like I'm Lucifer Star, White Star Lines, and basically, you know, inventor, creator, and stuff like that. And I got the pleasure of seeing all these wonderful, amazing empires that became because there's all these wonderful, amazing people, you know, that were in existence. I'm not a plague onto this world. You know, I'm Lucifer Star of exoskeletons, endoskeletons, and basically 1.5 life forms and so much more. The plants and the trees around here and a lot of stuff like that. So anyway, so yeah, I mean, eventually you'll realize all these empires and all this other stuff, and it's like there's a lot of empires. There's a lot of these great big existential, you know, massively powerful and massively awesome, amazing, you know, people that basically create these huge groups that were like, you know, and it's like, they do grow up so fast, don't they? You know, anyway, so, you know, and then, you know, there's just, you know, so, whatever. So, Lucifer White Star Lines Company, I started as a small little baby company, basically Lucifer White Star Lines, mining and shipping. How can I help you? Anyway, I was just doing a little bit thing for myself, you know, just a couple ships for me. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, I created the human race, but I hadn't actually, like, you know, it was like to be able to restart, you know, just a little empire. So I was just doing something for myself, for my vacation and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah. So that's what Lucifer White Star Lines was, you know, just bought a shipyard. I mean, technically I've been building ships, like I say, since Helen of Troy and stuff, but, you know, I was just building a couple ships for myself and something kind of cool. So, built a few. So anyway, yeah. So that's basically what's going on, pretty much. And I wasn't trying to stomp out other empires. It's like, no, please do become epic and existential. But you know, anyway. But just know that there's a lot. There's Germany. You know, they have other planets. China, they have other planets. Probably Israel eventually will have other planets. Eventually they'll probably go out there into space and stuff like that. And you know, there's all these epic existential empires, you know, or, you know, colonies and stuff like that. I had a colony ship, LSF-A. Like, there's no reason for hiding it. Like, I stand bold and beautiful and out there. That's Lucifer White Star. So anyway, it's like, yeah. So anyway, whatever. No, look out for the plague, the Black Plague out there. You know, it's basically Papa or some black people, Bloods and Crips, were basically being the plague onto this world. Strange, isn't it? So yeah, so that's the Bloods and the Crips and basically Papa. So yeah, they kind of hated me because I kicked them out of Warsaw and like 3 or 4 other cities I owned because they were being a problem for my Irishmen. So I was like, yeah, kick him out. And the Irishmen were like, but he says he works for you or something. I'm like, no, Papa don't work for me. You mean Mr. Plague onto this world? No. No. He don't work for me. He's just a piece of shit that came to taunt me or something like that. And, you know, he's the leader of the Bloods and the Crips or something like that. Or I don't know. I don't know what he is. Ask Madonna who he is. So, yeah. So, like I say, eventually the Irish found them all gathered around a table, like 20 of them or so, big, fat, huge, 300-pound black people, basically. Come here, baby. Like eating and fucking at the same time. Just like that. That's what they described to me. What the black council was. Just a bunch of black people eating, fucking at the same time and drinking wine. So I was like, so that's where the Harlem and Wolf money went? Those 20 black people? Wow. Well, that's amazing. So yeah. So the Irish people found out about it. And I probably should have just told them to just kill them. But I think they just locked them up or exposed them. Expose them. For who they were or something like that. And then I'm sure Papa went out there and said, how could you trust a white paper? It's just printed on white paper. Would you want a black paper with white ink? And they might have actually done that. I don't know. Like I said, the black race, the black empire was doing its own like it's more like the black empire was more like just like couldn't really get off the ground. Probably because Papa was like a plague on this world. So, I mean, like I say, it's not a racism thing. It's basically Papa or some black guy that got kicked out of Warsaw like 20 times or something like that, and was basically running around with fur coats and everything else, you know, doing strikes on factories and stuff. It was self-proclaimed plague onto this world. So, like I say, I don't really know. He was an opium junkie and flat out crazy. So, Bloods and Crips, that was who was leading you for like years, I guess. The Irish found him, or found out about him, basically. He was a guy who was slapping people, basically. And basically, if anybody slapped him, his little Papa's boys would come in and like beat the crap out of them, men or women or whatever. And basically, he was using black people like that and just lying like crazy. So, anyway, yeah, the Black Empire downfall. That's why your empire fizzled and basically went because he was just taking you and directing you right towards war and destruction and everything else, and trying to be a plague onto this world and trying to tear down civilization. So, anyway, yeah, you can ask the Irish for more details or something like that. Like they investigated the Black Plague or whatever, the Black People Plague. So